Cheers in Anoka. It's officially open for business. 45 minutes ago, the city cuts the ribbon on the long-awaited social district. This isn't just a first for the city. It's the first of its kind in the state of Minnesota. And now in Anoka, you can buy a drink at a downtown bar and drink a rum and cocktail while you walk around the Rum River. We sent Kent there to check it out. Not sure if it was a good idea or a bad, so Kent, take her away.
You know, Jan, I'm a dad now, so I'm pretty responsible, so it was a good idea. I can tell you what this is all about. As you can tell, it's a little bit of a party behind me right now along the Rum River. That's kind of the whole idea. They have these social gatherings here. They're trying to activate the space along the river. And in addition to the food trucks and other things over my shoulder, you go another block and you can walk into a bar, and yes, you can have a cocktail or a beer in this case. You can give it a shot. This is something that the Minnesota legislature approved. They carved out something special for Anoka this year to try to give it a go for the next month. So you can do this from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. The city's just hoping that you think of it more as a sip and stroll instead of reliving Bourbon Street.
It's just kind of a strolling, easy environment. Hopefully it'll stay that way.
Countless downtown Anoka strolls have been outfitted by Peterson Shoes.
The store has been in business since the 1880s.
But owner Sandra Pirtle is still treading lightly as the city begins mixing business with booze.
It's a wait and see. We'll see. I haven't really made a decision.
Technically, the city hasn't either. The parameters of the social district aren't just limited to a park and a few city blocks. It's also a pilot program, and the state will see where it all lands after next month.
Within the law, there's a series of questions that are asked that we need to report back on.
Well, I would guess public safety is maybe the biggest question.
Public safety, or are there changes to the law that maybe need to be made? The neighbors, what are their experiences outside of the district? What were the impacts?
Even participating bars are curious about that.
Kind of excited, kind of nervous, but kind of excited.
Why nervous?
I think overall people are welcoming of it. There's a lot of people that are not big fans of it because they think it might cause problems. Anoka people are pretty great, so I think everybody will act appropriate for this.
Jackie Young says McGillicuddy's and the 6 other bars in the district are required to use and label these special cups before they send customers on their way.
We're very responsible on who we serve and who we don't serve.
And speaking of those cups,
anticipate any problems with people refilling this themselves?
We will be watching for that here. Part of that will be education.
Window cling reading at retailers will also be part
Here we go.
of the lesson plan.
Bring in your cocktails.
And yes, the owner of Amori Antiques loves the idea.
I would have thought that you would have said, nope, things might break, things might go wrong.
And they might, just like they would any other day when people are in here. I like to say I'm not your typical antique store.
Brandon Altenweg believes it will give a big boost to downtown and his business. And there's only one thing that might spook him.
The only thing I am concerned about is really how intoxicated somebody might be and whether we want them in here or not, because we can definitely just tell them to turn around and say, hey, probably not a good idea today.
And for the record, though she's open to the concept, inside Peterson Shoes, there will be no drinks in store.
Nobody really wants to buy stained apparel or footwear. And it's very easy to spill anything because they don't have covers on them. If they have a drink and they want to walk down by the river, I think it's great.
Now that is going to be the question. It's really going to be up to the public. How much do people drink? How responsible are they? For the state to really adopt this more widely. Although I did hear from many in the city and even some of the state leaders that were here tonight, they said this isn't a new concept in other states like North Carolina, South Carolina, even Michigan have adopted these kinds of social districts across their states, and of course city councils have to approve them. And so far, for the most part, they say they haven't had many of those issues. People just like to sip and stroll, Jana.
I don't know that there will ever be another time when there's a cover of a Motley Crue song behind you with you holding a beer on Breaking the News. So I want to savor this moment. Cheers, Kent. Cheers.
Do you want to? Cheers, Jana. Cheers. You can savor it just like I am.
Goodbye.
That's good. That's good.
That social district is the first in the state, but as Kent was talking about, not the first in the U.S. Michigan started to have them in the summer of 2020 to help bars and restaurants get back to making money after shutting down during the pandemic. And last year, the county where Detroit is It surveyed managers and mayors there of cities that have them, and they said their social districts helped get people back and keep them coming back. And it did help their restaurants make a profit again. But they said, yeah, there are challenges, like having to explain to people how it works and how it does not, and explain to people that they can't leave the premises with a fresh beverage. When the county asked each city if they'd recommend other cities do these social districts, every single city in that survey said, yeah.